Hello and welcome to my Grim Reminders First Impressions, scoring every card in Grim Reminders on a scale of -1 to 3. If you haven't watched my previous episodes, my scoring is -1 for cards that actively detriment your deck, like something like a Bad Penny. A 0 is a baseline creature, something like a Snafigator or one Amber Pip action that has a situational effect, like a 1-2 punch, or not a very powerful one. One would be something strong, like a Perfectus Ludus, or a Pip with a strong positive effect, like a Life for a Life. A 2 would be something very strong that is immediately disruptive, or has a immediately powerful effect, something like an Exhume or Oniris Clocks. And 3 is like a card that makes a deck or has a very strong effect that is extremely hard for your opponent to deal with, or is very disruptive, something like a Punctuated Equilibrium, Captain Vile Jericho, yeah. So lateral shift. Yeah. So yeah, let's get to it. Starting here with Æmber Storm. For each Amber in your pool, deal 1 damage to an enemy creature. This is basically exactly the same as Sack of Coins. Well, Sack of Coins is a pretty good card. That's a 1 for me. It's not amazing, but it does the thing that you want it to do. It gives you an Amber and does some damage. That's pretty nice. Æmberfly. Elusive Skirmish. After a fight, capture 1. After Reap, move 1 Amber from Æmberfly to your pool. Okay, so it's a very neat creature that can capture and then return it to your pool. However, it is quite flimsy. Also, it needs to survive like a really long time for the second ability to work, unless you have some other way to capture Amber on it. So on its own, I think this is a baseline creature because it's not big enough to survive. Like if this was a 4, that would be much more toward a 1. Blernean Hydra. Enhance. Damage, damage, damage. While it is damaged, Blernean Hydra gains slash attack X, where X is the amount of damage on Blernean Hydra. That's extremely situational ability. It needs to be damaged. Yeah, it gives you Amber pips, but do you really want to use the damage pips on it to damage itself? I just don't see this doing way too much. It might be a 1, but because it also gives you the damage pips, which are nice, like a 5/5 creature with 3 damage pips is nice, but I don't think it's quite at 1, so I'm gonna give this a 0. Bog Spitter. Skirmish. After a fight, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Scrap if your opponent has 6 Amber or more. Steal 1. Okay, so just as a baseline creature, this is kind of like this creature that on Reap discards a card. This one does it on Fight. The Reap one is better because you also get an Amber. So you're gonna kind of want to fight with this, but it's not big enough to kill stuff on fighting. However, the scrap ability is pretty strong, so I'm thinking of giving this a 1 just based on the scrap ability. This is out of hand, so it's not like Ritual of Balance that is extremely well telegraphed. This kind of, yeah, this kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's steal 1 Amber control in Untamed, which is usually pretty rare, and it's a steal. So yeah, I think I will give this a 1 based on the scrap ability. Came back wrong. Play a creature from your discard pile and attach Came Back Wrong to it as an upgrade with the text this creature gets -2 power and gains poison. So this is kind of like an Exhume, but it doesn't have an Amber Pip. So this will be a 0. I mean, wait, I gave Exhume a 2. And this one Might be a 1. Yeah, I think I should give this a 1. It's unfortunate, but it's not terrible. Also, I mean, the -1 power is pretty, like, it's a negative. It does give poison for some reason. I don't really care about that. It's tough. It really depends on what other creatures are in the set, I guess, because like Exhume was in a set with Ronnie, so that's like very powerful. No, I'm gonna stick with my 0 after some thought. Cauldron. Omni, put the top card of your deck face up under Cauldron. If there are 3 cards under Cauldron, play them one at a time as if they were in your hand. I absolutely love this card. I played with it once already, and it's like wild home holes upon wild home holes. Yeah, if your opponent has creature control, it doesn't do anything, but this is just so much fun. I'm personally hoping to have a deck that, like a competitive deck that could have those, but like just on merit of how much fun it is, I'm gonna give this a 1. I don't know if it's stronger than that. It does take 3 turns to set up, so yeah, it's probably not stronger than a 1, but I really love this card and I would like to play it a lot. Choking Ivy. Play. Destroy each creature with the lowest power. If you are not haunted, repeat the preceding effect. Okay, so if I'm not haunted, it kills the 2 lowest sets of creatures, and if you are haunted, it only kills 1. That's pretty decent creature control. I think I'm gonna give this a 1. Yeah, it can be very useful, I think. Curse of Fertility, Treachery. Goes to your opponent. At the end of your turn, if you did not play a creature this turn, your opponent gains 1 Æmber. That's kind of annoying, but it's not much of a detrimental effect, more like a boost to your opponent, so I think it's gonna be less frustrating than the other curses. I still think it's pretty good, so I'm gonna give this a 1, especially if your opponent has like a main house thing going on, they want to like sit there and reap with it, and then they don't have any creatures to play, so that would be annoying. Dark Heart of the Forest. Each haunted player skips their Forge a key step. So design-wise, this is not as bad as Heart of the Forest because it doesn't work all the time. This is still a majorly stupid card, and I hate it, so I'm gonna give this a -10. No, I'm just kidding. It's a -1. I just don't like it. I don't want to play with it. I don't want anything to do with it. Flying Broomstick. This creature gains elusive, and after reap, heal all damage and move all Æmber and counters from a creature to the common supply. Again, this creature gains elusive, and after reap, heal all damage and move all Æmber and counters from a creature to the common supply, so not the creature as it's on, just like a creature. That can be a very strong effect. It's just like get rid of all the captured Æmber on a creature. And if you have a ready Untamed creature, that can happen immediately. I'm gonna give this a 1. The ability is situational, but potentially very powerful. And it does have an Æmber Pip. If it didn't have an Æmber Pip, then this would not be a 1. But with an Æmber Pip, that definitely looks like a strong effect. Forgotten Guardian. Play, purge a card from a discard pile. That's like a mini Infernus, but without the Æmber control. Scrap. Shuffle a purge card into its owner's deck. Okay, so that scrap effect is very interesting. It can get back something that was purged for you. Or if you have multiple of those. Oh, well, it's a rare. Okay, if this was a common, that would be amazing. But as a rare, meh. Not gonna have multiples of these. I don't know how much other purge effects there are. Just scrapping one. Purging 1 is pretty decent. Like an Infernus is probably a 2. So giving this a 1 makes sense. I'll give this a 1. Ghostry. While you're haunted, Ghostry deals no damage when fighting. Scrap. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. It's a creature. The scrap effect can help you get haunted. I'm gonna give this a 0. I don't love it. Grave Pixie. 1 pip. 1 power. Destroyed. If you are haunted, archive Grave Pixie. That's neat. Yeah, if you're haunted, this can be really annoying. Either you get to play it again or you get to reap with it. That's pretty good. I'm gonna give this a 1. 3. Haunting Witch. Haha, funny. After you play a creature, if you're haunted, gain 1. So this is just a worse Hunting Witch with one more power, which is basically all the variations of Hunting Witch have been. Oh, I see. So this one also gets an Amber on itself. It doesn't say other creature. So that's slightly better. I'm gonna give this a 1. Invigorating Shower. Enhance. Draw. Sloppy. Play. Choose a house. Shuffle each card of that house from your discard into your deck. This can be absolutely bonkers if you do it on, like, right before the reshuffle. You just get 1 house. You can also mid-game do something interesting stuff with it, even if you do. Even if you do it just like after you've played like a few cards, you can target a few important cards that you want back. This is pretty strong. I don't think I want to give this a 2, but I'll give it as a 1. Maybe it deserves a 2. I haven't played with this, so it's hard for me to tell. It might be a 2. It is common, so it's gonna be interesting stuff happening with multiples of these. Like if you have 2 of these, you can potentially play just Untamed for the rest of the game. That's a very, very interesting thought. I'm gonna stick with a 1 for now. Jervi. Elusive. After Reap, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. Scrap. Archive a card from your discard pile. Okay, so this is kind of like a Witch of the Eye, but instead of taking cards from the discard, it takes cards from your deck, which is a strong effect. It has Elusive, which is better than a Witch of the Eye. It has a Scrap effect, that is pretty good. This is definitely a 1, possibly a 2. However, this is a rare, which is unfortunate, so you're not going to have a lot of these. Yeah, the effect is not immediate, except for the Scrap. The Scrap effect is immediate, but that doesn't give you an Amber Pip or anything, so I'm going to give this a 1. Lost in the Wild. Play. Shuffle each flank creature into its owner's deck. If you are haunted, repeat the preceding effect. Timing this right, so it doesn't just shuffle everything, might be challenging. Making sure that it gives you more of a benefit than your opponent, but this is a very strong effect, and like the Shadows card that does this effect doesn't have an Amber Pip, so this is definitely better than that, and that one isn't like bad. So I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this a 1. I would like to give this a 2, but I don't think it's quite there. And I think it's a bit tricky to get like the most out of it. So this is definitely a 1. Loyal Packmate. Taunt. Enemy creatures cannot be used to fight friendly creatures unless the friendly creature has Taunt. Enemy creatures cannot be used to fight friendly creatures unless the friendly creature has Taunt. So basically, Mega Taunt. This is like even tauntier than Lady whatchamacallit, Lady Loreen, which does like double taunt on both sides. This is like even tauntier. That's very taunty. So yeah, this was like a power 1 for me, I think. I mean, the effect is not super powerful, but it is very protective of other creatures. And Untamed has some creatures you want protecting, and you might even have some in your other houses, so I don't know. I'll give this a 1. While enraged, Narl Gibbus gains Skirmish and Splash Attack 3. Play after Reap, Enrage. What? Skirmish and Splash Attack 3. But you can't Reap with it, and that is pretty meh. Splash Attack 3 is nice, but it kinda only works every other. You have to fight with it, then it happens once, and then you have to. Why? Why is this just like Skirmish Splash Attack 3? That would have been fine. That would have been fine. I'm gonna give this a 0. I could give this a -1 though. I'm giving this a -1. It's a shitty card. Rotfeast. Amber. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 amber each time a creature is dealt damage. Yeah, this can be crazy, or it can be nothing. I'm gonna lean towards a 1 here. So you're likely to get 2 amber from it, maybe even 3. Each time a creature is dealt damage. So even if your creature or your opponent, so if you like have any ready Untamed creature and you fight into any opponent's creatures, they both take damage and you get 3 amber. And that's sweet. Sabira the Medium. After you shuffle your discard pile into your deck, gain 3 amber. So I've seen some discussions about when this exactly triggered. I think it needs to be your entire discard pile for it to trigger. So that was very, very situational. I'm gonna give this a 0 just because of how situational it feels to me. Skeletal Murmook. While you're haunted, your opponent's keys cost +2. I'd rather it just be 1 all the time than 2 some of the time. But Murmooks are pretty good. I'm gonna give this a 1. Play. If you're haunted, forge a key at current cost. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck. That's very, very good. Just like very, very, very good. It's a key charge, but doesn't cost you the extra amber. So you don't have to like double guess yourself if you should use it or not. I'm gonna go with a 2 here. I think this is a very, very strong key cheat. I'm guessing you can't have more than 1 in your deck, and you don't want more than 1 in your deck, so that's lovely. The Circle of Life, 1 amber. Play. Each haunted player gains 2. So if you can engineer it so that you gain the 2 and your opponent doesn't, this is amazing. If you can't, this sucks. So I'm gonna give this a 0 because I think it's too situational. Next one, the Witching Hour. Return each witch creature from your discard pile to your hand. Well, in the right deck, this could be amazing. In any other deck, this could be very bad. It is a rare, so I think that it's gonna be pretty cool sometimes, and you're not gonna get stuck with like multiples of these, so that's cool. However, I'm gonna give this a 0 because I didn't see enough witches that you wanna cycle. Like if you get like 3 haunting witches, that's insane, but that's probably not gonna happen most of the time. Till the Earth. Enhance. Amber, Sloppy. Play. Each player shuffles their discard pile into their deck. Okay, so this combos really nicely with Sabira, and if you get both, well, obviously that's really good. It also just has 2 amber enhancements, so you could just like, that's just like good. That's really good. And a Sloppy. And the effect is pretty good. I think I'm gonna give this a 2. I want lots of these in my deck. Yes, please. Warfaline. Play after fight. Shuffle the top 5 cards of a discard pile into their owner's deck. You choose which discard pile, so this can be anti-haunting deck, or it can be shuffling good cards back into your deck, or all sorts of stuff. This is pretty versatile. I'm gonna give this a 1. Werewolf Curse. I think this comes with Mr. Narl Gibbus, like paired. This creature gains Flash Attack 3 and after fight archive Werewolf Curse. Play enrage this creature. I just don't want this in my deck, please. I gotta give this a -1. I just don't want these cards in my deck. No, thank you. Witch of the Spore. Poison. Scrap, deal 3 damage to an enemy creature. It's a pretty baseline creature, but the scrap effect is pretty nice. If you get like a sloppy pip and you can just do 3 damage instead, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna give this a 1. Witch Queen. Each other friendly witch creature enters play ready. While Witch Queen is in the center of the battle line, each other friendly witch creature gains Skirmish, Elusive, Poison, and Destroy to return this creature to its owner's hand. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Protects your witches and makes them fighty and poisony and all sorts of cool things. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1. I don't think it's busted, but a 1 for sure. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't watched the rest of the series, then know that I did not go over the revenants. I'm leaving those for me to encounter in the wild. Yeah, if you have any comments about my rankings, feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I don't know what my next content will be. We'll see.